All right, good evening, and it's 7 p.m. I'll call the meeting to order. Inform the public that this is another telemeeting and none of us are in person at Town Hall. Roll call, Mrs. Smith? Mrs. Smith? No. Miss Riley?
Present.
Okay, thank you. We'll give Marie a minute or two before we get into the bulk of the agenda, but Miss Riley, are you okay moving right now with the minutes?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the Board of Selectmen of April 14th, 2020 and April 21st, 2020 as printed.
Okay, I would second for discussion, just one minor amendment on the April 21st ones. The comments I made regarding positions, it was left out that I mentioned the human resource position. The comments around it were included, but not that. So if we could have that added, otherwise I'm fine with it. Would you accept that as an amendment, Ms. Riley?
Certainly, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so is that a motion to accept as amended?
Yes, I thought there was some reference to human resources in there, but if you could.
It was, just not my particular comment.
Okay, we can check the recording and add that. Yes, Mr. Chairman, I accept that, definitely.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
That is approved. Thank you. Matt Tanis, our health agent. Matt?
Yep, I am. Just give a quick update in regards to our cases within Raynham. As of today, 2 new cases today to bring it to 174 total cases since the start of the pandemic. Of that, 85 of them, those cases are from Life Care. That has not changed since they did the facility-wide testing. I'm actually just talking to Life Care a little bit ago. That remains the same. There were 3 tests from Life Care from last week that were still pending. 2 of those 3 have come back negative, and 1 is still pending. Still only 2 cases out of All-American, and 87 Raynham residents have tested positive. Out of that, 28 are considered recovered, 4 of those of which are from Life Care, and 23 have passed away. 3 Raynham residents, 1 from All-American, 19 from Life Care. So that leaves the current active caseload 60 of Raynham residents, 62 from Life Care residents, and 1 from All-American. All-American did facility-wide testing of residents and staff on Saturday. Of those, the results are still coming in, but 104 the test results have come back and they've all been negative. 25 are still pending. So hopefully we'll have the rest of those by tomorrow, but that's very good news. And I'm happy to see that negative results there. Other than that, just in regards to the aerial larvicide application from Bristol County Mosquito Control, they're hoping to wrap up aerial larvicide application in Raynham tomorrow, weather pending. They just have a small part of Huckamuck Swamp left to do. So once that's completed, I'll advise the board and the chiefs, but tentatively they're going to be finishing that tomorrow. And lastly, just in regards to COVID-19, I drafted a proposed order for face coverings. It's primarily for employees of essential businesses when they're working with the public. And for example, at a grocery store, it would be, people who are at the checkouts or stocking shelves, things like that, and also within close proximity to other employees. So I've sent that along to the board for your review. I did hear back from town council regarding it. They had a couple comments which I've incorporated, and the Attorney General's office issued some guidance regarding the local boards of health and issuing orders, including face coverings, and this definitely is acceptable per the AG's guidelines.
Okay, thanks, Matt. I think what we'll do is, I'm not sure if Marie's with us yet, so I'll bring that back up under COVID-19 related items. That way, if she ends up joining us, she can participate in that vote.
Of course, sir.
All right, any questions, Ms. Riley?
No, just, oops.
Can you hear me, Joe?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm glad you're there. We
Oh,
were just starting the meeting. We didn't take any votes yet other than the meeting
no,
minutes.
that's
So,
right. I heard Matt.
oh,
I
good.
heard Matt, and I have no questions for him.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
Ms. Riley?
I just wanted to again thank Mr. Tanis for all of his efforts and just say that our heartfelt thoughts and prayers go out to all of those who have lost a loved one through this pandemic or those who are fighting it themselves. So it's just sad state of affairs, but we thank everybody for everything they're doing to try to get through it.
Great, thank you. Where Mrs. Smith has joined us, and I'm assuming we've all had a chance to review the proposal. Would the board want to act on that tonight? I personally think it's a wise move where it's requiring employees to wear them and residents and visitors, it's being suggested.
I have no problem with that.
Okay, would you want to make that in the form of a motion?
I can.
Okay.
I was so moved to.
Okay.
I will second that, Mr. Chairman, but under discussion, I just want to make sure that it's clear that it's employees that are dealing with the public. I'm just thinking of some, essential employees that might be working out in the field where it may be a hindrance to their doing their job. I'm thinking trash collectors, anything along that line. So I just want to make sure that there's a little leeway for a situation that might present itself. Somebody.
Yeah, the way I interpreted it, it does provide some of that. But if you're looking to hammer it down more, then I'd obviously be open to proposed language.
Under that,
Sorry. I have, it's been interacting with the public or 6 feet within a coworker. And of course, I mean, it would be primarily, the health department that would be managing this order. So of course, if I were to receive a complaint, it would be investigated. And if it was deemed that, someone was carrying out a duty for work that, would prohibit wearing a mask, that would certainly be taken into account.
okay. As long as there's that flexibility in it, Mr. Chairman, I would be okay with that.
All right, so that's you seconded then?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That is approved, thank you. Next up, Bob Iafredi, our building commissioner. Bob, you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Through April 22nd, in the building department, we've had 100 building permits, 178 plumbing and gas permits, 72 electrical permits, 22 sheet metal, and 7 trench permits for a total fee collected of $119,332. We're open to the public. Well, we're open in the office Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We found that that's enough time to service the construction work that's going on around town, where we've seen a lot of drop off in activity with construction projects. We do have the availability of anyone to contact me on Tuesdays and Thursdays via cell phone. I've been out and around town both of those days the last couple of weeks. Projects that are ongoing is Bassett Knoll. We're almost done building those houses in phase 1 and 2. Cornerstone off of King Street. We have 3 under construction right now, a couple on Campbell Court. As far as inspections, we've been doing as many inspections as required. We've been doing some in private residences because we've had some people who are uncomfortable with other people in their residences. So we've been dealing with those on a case by case basis. As far as online permitting, we had a kickoff seminar online today, so we're going to see some of that activation in the next couple of weeks. As far as the planning board goes, it's pretty quiet with the planning board. They have 1 application in front of them for a 3-unit commercial building on Broadway. So obviously, we haven't had a meeting in several weeks now. We're talking about having a virtual meeting here in the next couple of weeks to get through that application. We continue to work with the fire department pretty closely on almost a And as far as the public safety building, as you're all aware of, that process is on hold until we get through this shutdown, and we can move forward with some funding from town meeting and the architect's work. And other than that, do you have any questions for me?
Thank you, Bob. Any questions, Mrs. Smith?
I do not. Thanks, Bob.
Ms. Riley?
I have no questions. Thank you. Also.
All right, thanks. If I could, if those of you who are called in, if you're not actively participating, do you mind putting your phone on mute, because there's a decent amount of feedback coming through, and I don't know where it's coming from. We have no appointments this evening. Town Administrator's report, Mr. Waters.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I got a short report this evening. The permitting software that the town has been working on had a project kickoff meeting today. If everything goes according to plan, it will be up and running within a month or two. The initial department will be the building department, as well as fire department and clerk's office, I believe. Town hall banners are to be replaced. The half circle flag banners in the front of town hall are going to be replaced. They've gotten worn out. There should be new ones in the near future. The governor extended the emergency stay-at-home order through May 18th. So that extends it from May 4th through the 18th. A reopening committee was compiled by the governor and will meet weekly to create a plan for reopening the state. I believe they will be giving reports once they're up and running as well. We're all familiar with the governor's press conferences that he does. I believe they're on a daily basis almost. As mentioned last week, the Raynham Food for Vets is going to be meeting this Friday, May 1st at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Not last Friday, as I previously said, but this coming Friday. It's going to be held at the Raynham Senior Center, supported by the Raynham Veteran Service Officer, as well as the Massachusetts Military Support Foundation. It is open to all Raynham vets in surrounding towns, surviving spouses, and Gold Star family members. Pre-registration is required, and you're asked to bring your ID as well as your DD-214 documentation. The next regularly scheduled meeting for the Selectmen will be on Tuesday, May 5th at 7 p.m. via telemeeting. Instructions for public participation will be posted on the agenda. Please do check the agenda on the town website, as the dial-in instructions sometimes change, and that is probably the most current information to call in. Sunday, May 10th is Mother's Day, and Friday, May 15th is Peace Officer Memorial Day for all of our police officers who have fallen in the line of duty. I'd also like to put a thank you out there for our frontline highway department employees who knowingly or unknowingly create a safe environment in town by ensuring trash is deposited at the town's transfer station and is processed in an efficient and safe manner. That is all I have, Mr. Chairman. I'm open to questions.
Thank you. Any questions, Mr. Smith?
No.
All right, Ms. Riley?
No, I have none. Thank you, Mr. Waters.
Thank you. All right, next up, Selectmen's report, Mrs. Smith.
I really don't have too much to report. I watched the governor today, as I do every day, and he's extended it, as we all know, until the 18th. So I hope everybody keeps up the good work and stays at home, so that can probably be the end. And I look forward to hearing from his new commission that he has just started on when we can start reopening the community. I want to thank Michaela for her efforts in trying to get another type of Memorial Day program on. And you too, Pat, for helping her. I'm sure she's going to need all the help she can get doing that. I did want to thank Mike Halen for all the contributions he's been doing. And I did see his little program on the news this morning, and it was really quite good. Tell the girls they did a great job, Michael. And thank you for what you're doing. That's about it.
Thank you, Mrs. Smith. Ms. Riley, anything?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I did get a notice that the Route 44 over Route 24 bridge replacement project, roadway and ramp closures on Route 44 and 24 are scheduled for this coming weekend, May 1st through the 3rd. Mass DOT's contractor will implement a number of traffic management measures in order to complete the steel erection of the North Bridge. The work will require overnight roadway and ramp closures in the vicinity of the Route 44 bridge over Route 24. Construction operations are scheduled to begin on Friday, May 1st and continue through Sunday, May 3rd from 10 p.m. each night to 9 a.m. the following morning. Work may continue through May 3rd depending on weather impacts. Signage and police details will be in place to facilitate traffic, and access will remain available for emergency vehicles needing to continue across the bridge on Route 44. There's more information relative to that if anyone is interested on the project website at www.mass.gov/Route 44 over 24. And of course, it's all subject to weather conditions. Also, I understand the Raynham Household Hazardous Waste Day that our highway superintendent mentioned last week has been set now for Saturday, July 11th. So everybody mark that on your calendar. Collection will be held at the Raynham Highway Department, and that's always a really welcome event to have. Also, our rave coordinator could not be with us this evening, but she asked me to share with her an email that she sent out. I had mentioned it before, but if I could, the purpose of this message is to inform you that out of an abundance of caution, Rave Salute to our Veterans Committee has decided to cancel this year's Town of Raynham Memorial Day Parade scheduled for May 23rd. The health and safety of our parade participants and spectators guided this important decision. We will look forward to a bigger and better Memorial Day Parade next year in 2021 to honor our fallen heroes and salute our veterans. Our plan is to show our patriotism in the days leading up to and beyond Memorial Day by adorning the center with American flags and encouraging everyone to proudly display American flags, bunting, banners to show that we are Raynham strong. Rave and Mrs. George will be coordinating with Raynham's Veteran Service Officer and Raynham Channel's Director Michael Halen on a virtual Memorial Day program in place of the annual ceremony that ordinarily follows the parade, and on the red, white, and blue door decorating project that Michaela Brito and Park and Recreation Director Tim McCrae are coordinating. In addition, if I could have a few more minutes, Mr. Chairman, Rave is sponsoring a student essay contest, and Becky George asked me to share this with everyone out there who may be tuned in this evening, and that this is going to be an essay contest for the students at the Low Liberty Elementary School and the Raynham Middle School. The essay title will be "What Does Memorial Day Mean to Me?" And essays can be submitted to Becky George at ravevolunteercoordinator@gmail.com. You may contact Becky George if you are unable to electronically send the essay. There will be a first place winner chosen at La Liberty and also a first place winner at the Raynham Middle School. Each first place winner will receive a $25 Amazon gift card and a chance to read their winning essay on that Memorial Day program that we're planning for the Raynham Channel. And one more thing, Rave is also planning a fundraiser to benefit, in accordance with Memorial Day, but to benefit the Raynham Food Basket. Rave is going to be purchasing and selling some election size signs that will say Raynham, they'll be red, white, and blue, and they'll say Raynham Strong with the insignia of the beating heart, and then a big thank you, which will be for our veterans, our first responders, and our medical doctors and nurses for everything they're doing. We'll be selling a limited number of these signs, and all of the benefits will go to the Raynham Food Basket. So just some of the things that we're doing, hopefully to help pull our community together. And that's all I have right now.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Riley. I just have a few quick things. The first is obviously during these trying times, people are dealing with their emotions and the stress differently. But the state is doing a PSA in particular for children and teens. During COVID-19, your child or teen may be showing signs of stress that you haven't seen before. These behaviors may be a normal reaction to a stressful event, or your child may need some extra help. They may be moody or easily upset, sad, worried, or fearful, not following the rules, sleeping too much or not enough, complaining of headaches or stomach aches, showing other behaviors that are new and have you worried. And as the governor said at his press conferences, and physicians throughout the Commonwealth have said, if you are experiencing medical problems during this time that are not COVID related, you should still seek medical advice. And in the event of a medical emergency, you should call 911. And so I think this is a good thing, especially right now where proms, spring athletic season, and graduation all look to be off the table. And these are some emotional times for our children, and I want to make sure as a community we're there for them. In addition to that, I've had the opportunity over the past couple of days to talk to some of our small business owners in town, and I would just remind folks that are going out and ordering takeout to please consider some of our Raynham businesses that are still opened and that are appropriately following the guidelines. As of today, more than 650,000 Massachusetts residents have filed for unemployment claims directly related to COVID-19. And so as this continues to occur and as the state is facing almost a $1.1 billion deficit, I think anything we can do as a community to support each other is welcomed. That is all I have on the Selectmen's reports. Citizen and community input. If anybody has anything, please state your name and address.
Hey, Joey, this is Mike Healy from
None.
Raynham. I'm going to unmute everybody now, just so anyone can talk, and then after I'll mute them back up.
Thank you. Last call, citizen and community input. None. All right. Thank you. New business, proposal for discussion and action, recommendation by the Finance Committee to the Board of Selectmen to implement a discretionary spending freeze, excluding personnel for the remainder of the fiscal year. As I had just mentioned, 650,000 unemployment claims and about a $1.1 billion structural deficit with the Commonwealth right now, which is going to have a direct impact on FY21 and beyond for communities. I would wholeheartedly support this. What is the board's pleasure?
I'll make a motion to approve, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That is approved. Thank you. Proposal and discussion and action, annual town meeting articles. Mr. Waters and I had spoke about this. I had asked him, and I believe he did, to send out the articles that we have so far to the board for review. And I think we can all work with him on other ones that need to be there. The deadline, I believe, is this Friday for submissions. And so anybody that has something that needs to be submitted department-wide should be reaching out to FinCom if appropriate and the town administrator to bring it to us for perusal. Graham, am I missing anything on this? Is there anything that you wanted to add?
No, I should have after the 30th, I'll have a final product to bring forward to the Selectmen's meeting on the 5th. I believe the Finance Committee is finishing up their recommendations on the budget, but I should have most of it completed. One question to put before the board, and it might be a moot point with how everything is being postponed or delayed with the turf field article for the school. I know it's been discussed that it's a capital item. However, there was a request by the school superintendent that it be put on the annual town meeting so that they could have the field ready in time for fall sports. Obviously, there's a high probability that fall sports aren't going to happen. So I know Linda DeMello on the Finance Committee was going to reach out to him and discuss any changes to the school budget, or I believe those two warrant articles related to the turf field, and I believe the other one was the boilers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think if there's no objection from the board, once the deadline has passed for submissions and we get the final draft for our markup and comments, we can have a discussion on all of them. And I would say including that one, because as you indicated, I think that would fall under a capital item, but we can definitely take it up as a discussion piece next week if there's no objection from the board.
None.
I'll make a motion to table it, Mr. Chairman.
Right, thank you.
Second.
Mr. Chairman, may?
Yeah.
I know traditionally I've been told that the Board of Selectmen and the Finance Committee have a joint meeting reviewing the final warrant product. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct. And I appreciate you bringing that up because I was going to forget to bring that up. Do we want to invite Chairman Aligi to join us next week if he's available?
Yes.
I would say any
Okay.
finance committee members that are available, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman?
Yep.
Sure.
All right. So there's a motion and a second to table it, and we'll invite the Finance Committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, that's, I'm gonna,
Next,
the condition that they've gotten all their business completed, Mr. Chairman.
correct. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Next up, the award of the contract to the lowest and most responsive bidder for the White Street pedestrian bridge project. And we did receive the information on that as well. What's the board's pleasure?
Hold on, I'm just looking for it. I did receive that, yes.
Mr. Chairman, we have Superintendent Buckley on the line if he wants to talk about it while Selectman Smith is looking for her paperwork.
It's NEL Corporation, and it's $474,215.
Hi, this is Ed. Would you like a little explanation of the footbridge project?
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've been in the process of trying to put this project together for the past couple of years. We received an easement from the property owner, a modification to an existing easement, and we're able to put the project out to bid this winter. We received a total of 6 bids, and the low bidder, NEL Corporation, has experience in this line of work and also with the engineer of record for the project, and they recommended them. All their paperwork was in order, and the price of $474,215 includes the option for a metal railing rather than a wood railing, which was my preference for durability and longevity. But the project will hopefully be built during the summer. We're planning to have a pre-construction meeting in the next couple of weeks. Should have a better handle on the schedule, and I can update the board later. But we're requesting approval of this to get moving on the project.
Right. What's the board's pleasure?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that in accordance with Mr. Buckley's recommendation that the lowest responsible bidder, NEL Corporation, be awarded the contract for $474,215.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's approved. Thank you. I should have done this on the COVID-related 19 items, and I apologize for that. But I did want to discuss and present to the board for at least discussion, if not action. The town of Bridgewater has voted to amend their polling hours on election day to 10 to 4. I've spoken to the town clerk, and she's spoken with the elections commission. That's within our purview where we don't have stipulated bylaws stating our hours. So I wanted to present that to the board, recognizing as well that absentee ballots are going to be available earlier than usual, and that it's being encouraged to utilize that option absent going to the polls. What is the board's thoughts on that?
Well, I'm not so sure that I think that's a good idea because a lot of people come in after 4. You know, those that work. Well, now there's a lot of people at home, I suppose. It would change everything. If the town clerk deems it applicable and she's talked to Bridgewater on it and they've hashed it out, I won't have a problem with it.
Yeah, Bridgewater's already done it, and our town clerk, I think she was calling in, but our town clerk is supportive of this, and as I said, the elections division has no issues with it.
Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Hi, this is Masha. Yes, I did talk to Bridgewater, and they did, the council voted last week to change their polling hours from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And our bylaw does not state any specific hours, so under the Mass General Law, the Board of Selectmen do have the authority to change the polling hours if you deem so.
Okay. Marcia, will you announce, please, when the absentee ballots would be available?
Yes, I definitely will, Marie. They're actually, they're being printed now. And
Okay.
as soon as we have them, because the Secretary of State's office is encouraging voting by mail. Absentee
Yes,
ballots, voting. Yeah, they really are encouraging it. So we're going to get them in earlier.
Okay. Well, as long as you make mention of it and make sure that, well, I know we can't make sure everybody knows, but anybody who is interested should be able to find out.
Well, and the other thing
Website.
Marcia's already done is she's had the board up in front of Town Hall announcing the new election date for about 3 weeks now. So I think our town clerk's been very proactive on this.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Marcia, for that. I think as long as, and we're going to do that, we really stress, taking advantage of the absentee ballot. Even though we're talking about June 27th, we're still going to be practicing social distancing. So I think the reduced hours are totally warranted at this time. And I would make that as a motion if you would like a motion, Mr. Chairman.
I would, please. So that's a motion. Do I have a second?
I do. Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, that is it for
Thank
new
you.
business. Performance of administrative duties, approval of the town of Raynham invoice and payroll warrants.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next one is approval of Raynham police invoice and payroll warrants.
Motion to approve?
Second.
I'll abstain. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, enter executive session with no business thereafter.
And Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion to go into executive session according to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 38, Section 21, for purpose 2, contract proposal for the treasurer collector, and state that we will return to open session only to vote to adjourn with no business to be conducted.
Great. Mrs. Smith, are you there to second it?
That's second. I'm sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Adjourn. Thank you.